into the box. Can they make it 3? There's your answer. 4-3 Ipswich. Anderson gets it back to Walker. 2 against 1. Walker and into the area. Hesketh to finish. Yeah! 5-3 Lincoln City.
When it went to 2-2 or when it went to 4-3, it could have been difficult for the players, but you know, like I say, very, very quickly we were on the front foot again, trying to score the goal.
Commentary of Lincoln City in League One
with BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire, welcome along to Sincil Bank, a sold out Sincil Bank, the few empty seats beginning to disappear around the ground. We're expecting a gate in excess of 10,000 for the second time in 3 days as Lincoln City take on, I think it'd be fair to say, local rivals Peterborough United. City line-up unchanged from Sunday with Vickers in goal, Eardley, the former Peterborough man, Boswick, Bolger and Toffolo the back four, Anderson, who had a spell at Peterborough with O'Connor, Morrell and Grant in midfield, and Hesketh, who scored his first goal for Lincoln at the tail of that game on Sunday alongside Tyler Walker, 12 for the season. On the bench, Smith, Shackle, Payne, Chapman, Conley, Melbourne and a kid named Peterborough. Well, they brought out all of their big guns. Some didn't play at Rotherham, they're all there today. Issa, Madison, Tony and Boyd, and also on the bench Dembele, who changed the game at London Road earlier in the season, and the former Imp Joe Ward. So it's Pym, Butler, another former Lincoln player, Alex Woodyard, Beavers, Issa, Madison, Reed, Bennett, Tony, Boyd and Mason, the Peterborough side. O'Malley, Dembele, Ward, Copping, Cartwright, Barker and Burrows. Alongside me, Steve Thompson and Tomo. It's a Peterborough side that are full of goals and are a real threat.
Yeah, I was speaking to both Barry Fry and Darren Ferguson before the game. I asked him about the poor results they had against one at home and one away, and he said that there was a lot of injuries, had to play a lot of young lads, but as you said, Michael, he thinks they're back to full strength, thinks it's an up and down league, but thinks his team will be there or thereabouts for automatic or playoffs, so hopefully we'll be in for another good game.
You had a little black book and Michael O'Connor has a little black book. He said to me, I'm not going to do anything to the detriment of the side, but if there's a 50-50 ball, he will know it's not a 50-50 ball.
I hope he's wise enough and old enough to realise that. But Michael, I must give, this is incredible. Audrey Whitworth, who's 91 years of age and listens to us religiously, Michael. Her great-grandson, Harry Garner, mascot today. That's Audrey Whitworth, 91 years of age. And she's pleased that I've stopped using the word proactive.
Well, there was a little herd of mascots who came off the pitch a few minutes ago, and Lincoln City have got this game underway, kicking towards the Stacey West end of the ground. It's a proper winter's feel to this afternoon. It was a bit sunny on Sunday. It's a grey, overcast day like it's been for seemingly months. No sign of any rain or any snow or anything like that, but a bit of a bite to the air, and it's Lincoln City in red and white stripes, black shorts and red socks. Peterborough in their blue top, white shorts and blue socks. And by the way, if you're wondering about Lincoln City and their blue kit, their third kit, they have to play at one stage, one game in January, and we're expecting it to be the game next time out at Sunderland, where Tomo Lincoln will take 3,000 fans to the game at the very least.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, and I put phenomenal, and it is phenomenal. It's absolutely fantastic, and what an atmosphere that should be. But I mean, you can't knock this, can you, Michael? I mean, full sail from Peterborough as well, and let's hope. I went for a 1-1 draw, didn't I?
I went for a lot of goals today.
Yeah, I'm not going for a 1-1 draw today.
Peterborough load the ball into the Lincoln City penalty area, the edge of it, headed away by Boswick, the former posh man. Saw a picture of him on social media 10 years ago. He was at Stevenage, no hair in sight, shaven headed. Very different sort of sight now, and he's a key player at Lincoln City. They've done well to get it down the left-hand side, just rolled away from George Grant. Back with them again, Morrell tidies up in midfield and spreads a very neat pass out to the right-hand side, and Anderson, overlapping run from Eardley, but Anderson into the edge of the area. Ball just gets away from Hesketh, who made a really terrific impression on Sunday, and it's back with the Imps, and it's back with Morrell, and Morrell skips away from the challenge of Tony and gets the ball wide to the left-hand side, to the byline, pull back into the penalty area, chance for Hesketh, keeper just about gets in the way and stops it, and that's the thing, Tomo. Peterborough might be full of goals, but they conceded 7 in the last 2 games as well.
Yeah, what's good to see is, first of all, Eardley absolutely busting a gut to get down his right-hand side and overlap Harry Anderson, and then a quick change of the ball down the left-hand side, and Morrell exchanging passes with Toffolo. Great to see. I mean, the fullbacks, this is Michael Appleton really wants his fullbacks getting in advanced positions.
Well, Michael Appleton had a real twinkle in the eye when he was doing the interview. He said he was really looking forward to this game and just testing his team against another of the top sides in this division. And good from Morrell, he's getting in with a challenge. He said to me post-match, I get Mr. Angry, I channel it into the game, and as long as he channels it into the game, I think we fully understand what he's trying to do. It's with Mo Issa in central midfield, spread out to the left-hand side, and Butler, the fullback, game starting with a good pace to it into midfield, and with Lewis Reed, and now moving it from left to right, looking to try and open up an opening on the Lincoln City defence. The Imps with 2 banks of 4 back, and looking to make the similar start to that which they made against the team in blue on Sunday in Ipswich, who, by the way, have extended the contract of Paul Lambert till 2025. I think I read at 1 o'clock it was announced, Tom. So there you go, lose at Sincilbank and you get a new contract as an Ipswich Town manager.
Well, I'm just going to give you some breaking news. What Darren Ferguson told me, that he heard that Neil Warnock was going to Ipswich.
Well, there you go. Paul Lambert has signed a new contract till 2025.
Football, terrific. Lives on rumours.
It's a throw for Ipswich in front of the dugout, the Lincoln City dugout. There's a big gap between them these days, and it's going to be a throw into the penalty, is it? No, it's thrown short. Peterborough taking their time, but settled, you sense. But Lincoln are trying to fight to win the ball back, and Harry Anderson's fouled. As he does that, it's going to be a free kick for Lincoln City.
Yeah, you would expect a game similar to the Ipswich game.
They can go forward, and Tyler Walker, well, he gets caught from behind, surely. The referee shows absolutely no interest, and the assistant, who's got a similar haircut, not that it really matters, shows the same lack of interest as well. But was there anything in it?
No, I don't think so. That didn't look intentional to me. I mean, and Walker made an early run, and the centre half responded, but I think it was just a case of
oh no, that's surely a handball. Referee has given it. The Peterborough player fell over, and now we have seen in 5 seconds, Tomo, well, 10-15, exactly why Ipswich I know he's going to do that. Peterborough conceding goals.
Yeah, I understand saying Ipswich because they're 2 similar teams, aren't they? I mean, same colours, but also the way they want to play. But that was great pressure from, I think it was Morrell, wasn't it? Really, like you say, he's like a Jack Russell, isn't he? And really closed Boyd down quickly, and Boyd got caught in possession.
Talking to people at the club earlier today, we'll bring you a few sort of transfer snippets, no names really, but just some information. We'll try and do that in the first half on the Lincoln front, just some interesting guidance on to what to watch. George Grant plays the ball into the penalty, it's flicked across, nearly comes to the back post, but it's been cleared away by Peterborough. Eardley goes in with a header, heads it back downfield, doesn't come through. Another chance for Lincoln to get it forward, and it's heading on looking for Tyler Walker, can't find him. Barge in the back of one of the Lincoln players who goes down. That's a free kick for a foul on George Grant, and pretty clumsy stuff from the visitors here at Sincilbank.
Yeah, there's a lot of people interested in Marcus Maddison, the Peterborough. I mean, he's a skillful player, very good technically, but I just think when you're out of possession, it gives a lot of free kicks away.
Well, he didn't play, did he, on Sunday at Rotherham, and he's apparently on the transfer list, isn't he, I was told.
Well, I think whatever club Barry Fry's at,
they're always on the transfer list.
There's a prize for everybody, including Barry.
George Grant. Oh, a lovely ball there. Steve Walker into the area. Just had a bit too much on it. And if you're wondering what sort of free kick it was, dare I say it was copyrighted by Danny and Nick, and they used it a lot last season. It nearly worked for the Imps again. Peterborough fast asleep.
Yeah, and he got caught out. Neil Ellie just put a little bit too much on the ball, didn't he? But a little bit less than they'd been in there.
Well, encouraging signs for Lincoln City as they're pressing the ball all the way back to the Peterborough keeper, and Pem clears long to the halfway line, and it's now with Tony. Lincoln have won it back though with Morrell, but Morrell loses possession, and it's now with Peterborough. There's a foul by one of the Lincoln players, and the ball goes out of play for a throw to the visitors. For a free kick.
Yeah, as you would expect with a bumper crowd and two teams going at each other ham and tongue. Good tempo, good pace to the game. There's going to be free kicks because that's the kind of nature that this atmosphere lends itself to. You just got to be careful you don't let your heart rule your head.
Free kick then from halfway inside the City half, taking the South Park end of the ground. Peter, it's a decent delivery. It's flicked on and goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, that's what Madison's trademark is, isn't it? Corners and free kicks. Really whips the ball in at pace.
Corner then from the attacking right. I think we've really got the ball. We have now got a ball, and we've got a player prepared to take it as well. It's Madison who's going to do that. Shaven headed. It's going to be a one from the attacking left that will go away from the goal with the left foot. City trying to clear their lines and do back to the edge of the area. They get another chance to clear. Looks like a bit of a barge. That was certainly at best a clumsy effort from O'Connor. Peterborough played the ball back into the edge of the area, headed away by Toffolo, and Lincoln just struggling to get hold of it at the moment. Peterborough have it on the right, lift the ball into the City area, stabbed clear, back into the area, long range shot! Oh, that couldn't be far away. Some effort that from midfield. I think it was the number 11 Marcus, no, it wasn't Madison, but it was certainly from midfield. It was the number 14 Louis Reed, and he knocks it wide.
Well, I've seen that Louis Reed smashed them in from that distance for Peterborough, but for me, Michael, there's a couple of free kicks there. I thought Lincoln got away with one on the edge of the 18-yard box. It seemed a bit of a barge, but I'm more than happy that the referee didn't give it.
It looks sort of like a 4-3-1-2 that Peterborough are playing. Asa and Tony, the two up front, with Madison just playing behind them in the hole.
You can see it now. It's
Lincoln moving the ball to Eardley, chests it down, can't control it, and clears it downfield. And if anything, it's the City side at the moment that are just looking a little uncertain with themselves.
They've got a very animated Darren Ferguson. I mean, I spoke to him before the game. He seemed pretty cool and collected and calm, but obviously wanted to put the two bad results behind him that they've had.
A big following from Cambridgeshire, away to our right, in support of Peterborough, 1,700 of them, as Toffolo brings the ball away, loses possession. Just a little signal of how it's been for the last few minutes for City. Peterborough looking to get the ball into the Lincoln area, headed clear though. It's going to be ball clear, in fact, by George Grant. They had time to chest it down and hook it over the halfway line. Ball goes behind the defender, and suddenly in behind is Walker. The Peterborough players are going to have to be careful with their challenges. They get him out towards the left-hand channel. Now he looks for support, plays it back to Toffolo, inside to Morrell. And Morrell now spreads the ball beautifully to the right-hand side to Eardley. First touch of control. Now he looks to take on the man. He dinks the ball into the area. Keeper, though, comes and gathers it in. But a nice move from City.
Yeah, obviously with the formation Peterborough are playing, the width has to come from the fullbacks, and that means that when Lincoln get the ball, the three midfield players for Peterborough have got to adjust, because both Eardley and Toffolo gain lots of space to get into and really attack Peterborough.
You're wondering about Alex Woodyard. He's sort of playing on the right of a 3 in midfield at the moment. Well, I'm not sure he's touched the ball yet. It's a Peterborough player down in treatment, and it is the aforementioned Tony. who we talked about right at the start of the game.
I think that's a free kick. I think Lincoln have got away with it there.
It's going to be kicked out of play. But it doesn't always have to be one person that remembers, does it?
Your little Rottweiler.
Well, his mate was clattered, wasn't he, at London Road?
Well, maybe.
Did you hear a bit of? I don't know if you got to hear it in the interview I did with Joe Morale, and I know he said it before in the interview we've done. He admits, he got challenged on the edge of the area, didn't he, by Caden Jackson, and he got really angry, but he said, "I bottle it up," and I said, "Well, if you bottle it up and run like that, it's not a problem, is it?"
Maybe Michael O'Connor's passed the contract on.
Yes. And you can hear the song is for Michael O'Connor, I think I'm right in saying. So,
yeah, I'm interested in just something for you, Michael. I was speaking to, as I said, to Barry Fry, and he was saying that there's a lot of interest in Tony, and all that was down.
Yeah.
And they're wanting something like 10 million for him, Peterborough. Newcastle get a third of any sell on. But Barry, who's a finder of talent, said that he is a player that can easily play in the Championship.
And I know it's easier said than done, but that is what Lincoln are trying to aim for, isn't it, in terms of getting those players in from under 23s and developing them. And I know it's easier said than done, and if everyone could do it, they'd all do it, but that is what Lincoln are aiming for.
And that's where Peterborough have done just that, as you've said, haven't they?
Yeah,
that's what they've done in seasons have gone by.
And I should say that the couple of bits of information we got from the club today is that they are expected to be quite active. Players in and out. That Michael Appleton's first chance to start shaping a squad that he wants. It could be players coming in from the likes of the under-23s, but also stressing that Michael Appleton doesn't have to get rid of players before bringing players in, which can be a help.
Yeah, and we're not going into internal politics or the concern about the expenditure that Lincoln have put out, but I mean, it's just the progressive nature of the club at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a very different era. Peterborough on the edge of the area. City trying to win it back, and Morel does that. Loses possession as it just gets away from him. But they're fighting for it in midfield. Hesketh nearly wins it, and Peterborough know they're not going to get a lot of time on the ball in midfield. Woodyard playing on the right. It does seem a little odd. He's probably going to do something exceptional on the right now, I've said it. As Lincoln fighting for the ball. Referee happy with City's challenges, and away with it comes Anderson, the former Peterborough player. Just bounces up on Hesketh, holds on to it, stabs it back into midfield to Morel. He scampers forward, and out on the right is Tyler Walker. Oh, the pass just had a bit too much on it. The adrenaline was flowing.
I got a bit of deja vu there. I thought he was going to carry on running like he did at Ipswich and maybe just pull the trigger, but in the sort of bubbling atmosphere and the energy of the game, he got carried away and just put too much on the ball. Well,
it probably won't surprise you to know the referee today, Sargensen, has not dished a red card this season in 20 games.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm all for it. If he's quite happy and he's consistent for both teams, and let him get on with it. 2.5
yellows a game, 50 for the season. He was the referee for the last game for Danny and Nicky in charge away at Wickham. Anderson, across on the right hand side, just about cleared away by Peterborough. I think if Lincoln could get their delivery right, they really could cause some problems for Peterborough, as it's cleared away by Eardley. Looks to have been caught by Tony. Eardley not too happy with the challenge, but they carry on sitting. Tyler Walker running in behind, and Peterborough put it out rather clumsily through Beavers for a throw. Stacey West end of the ground where Lincoln attacking. 15 minutes gone in the game. Remind you, Boston United over on a separate stream. We'll get the goals if they happen here, and we'll also get updates on goals in the Gainsborough and Grantham games. Eardley down the right side, cross it inside the area, cleared away rather hurriedly by Peterborough, and defensively they're not convincingly Peterborough.
Well, when you've conceded 3 at home and then 4 away from home, you do get a little bit anxious.
We can take the throw short. Hesketh back to Eardley, and Eardley to O'Connor, plays a little angle ball into the area, cleared away. It should be coming back through a header from Bolger, but there's no Lincoln player there, and it bounced out of play for a goal kick. And talking to Michael Appleton yesterday, Tom, it was interesting. He was asked, well, in a year's time, where are you going to be? And he says, I want this team to be challenging for promotion. That's what I've come here to do. And it was very unfussy. He says, because I know the reality is that's what the fans want. That's what we all want.
Yeah, well, that's the ambition of the club now, isn't it? With the backing and especially the support that you're getting as well.
And there's plenty of noise, as you can already hear, at centre back. Anderson trying to take on the defender, trying to get around him. Can't quite do so. Cleared away by the blue shirts of Peterborough. Boswick will be up for the game. Oh, that's extraordinary. One of the Peterborough players just gone right over the top of Michael O'Connor. Nothing given by the referee. And into the air, and that's blocked away by Bolger. Now, Tomo, we should say that this referee has allowed a lot of challenges that other referees would have raised, but for me that was an extraordinary one to let go.
I just can't see how that cannot be a free kick. He's on his back.
That's a handball. Well, this is the problem for players, though, isn't it? Because next, on Saturday at Sunderland, as Walker comes through the middle, no real support for him, has to pause, and the tackle plays it back to Anderson, and just misses out. O'Connor will come back to this point in a moment. Madison scurries forward, ball into the box, cleared away by Bolger. It's with Peterborough, just inside the Lincoln City half. Blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks, and it's a right to left ball out to the full-back, who's Butler, the left back. He crosses it into the City area, headed away by Bolger, chested down by George Grant, tries to play it for a run of Hesketh, but it just breaks down the centre half. Bennett brings the ball away. Lincoln fighting to try and get close to it, but Peterborough holding on to it. They spread it pretty quickly to the left-hand side, and Butler once again looking for a way forward, but it's blocked off by Harry Anderson. Peterborough moving it all the way back to their penalty area and to Christy Pym, their keeper. Mind you, Peterborough looking to do the double over Lincoln City like Oxford did back on Boxing Day. Out on the left-hand side now with Peterborough. A 4-0 reverse and a 3-0 reverse in their last two games. Anderson does well, blocks off the forward momentum. And Peterborough have to go all the way back. Lincoln with two banks of 4 and a 2 in Hesketh and Walker. And now forward comes the experienced Boyd, plays it into midfield. Issa is dispossessed. That's a good tackle from Morrell. He's not allowing any time in midfield for the Peterborough strikers when they drop deep. And Lincoln bringing the ball away and over the halfway line, and it's a good exchange of passes. Toffolo, the referee now comes back for the challenge on George Boyd. The point I was going to make to you, Tomo, is we're going to go to the stadium, and I know what's going to happen now, and we'll have an absolutely finicky ref, and half the challenges we've seen in the last 10 minutes will be yellow cards.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got to be careful because I do like the physicality.
Well, no, absolutely.
I like the physicality side of the game. I mean, I like to see. I mean, that's what football's all about for me. I'm not on about going over the top 2-footed tackles, but I mean, honestly, only 2 free kicks that have gone astray. But
Burnley playing in for Tyler Walker, who's pushed by the referee, not interested. He was pushed, Tomo. I think that's closer than it looks. I think if the ball had been a bit closer, the referee might have had more of a decision to make, but he was nowhere near the ball, was he?
Well, Bennett gave him a good talking to, the Peterborough centre-back, but he would do, wouldn't he? He wouldn't know to push him in the back.
And then the Peterborough player goes flying and the referee gives the free kick.
It's going to take some refereeing this game by the looks of it, and this referee's going to have to stamp his authority.
Well, as we've seen, there's a little bit of feeling in this one, isn't there? And once again, I mean, Tyler Walker's continuing his chat, inverted commas, with Bennett, who are both now inside the Lincoln penalty area for this free kick, which is pretty much like a corner. It's pretty much down by the corner flag. 0-0 the scoreline here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We have been playing just over 20 minutes of the game. 0-0 at Boston as well. Mind you, at the Stadium of Light with some 3,000 City fans on Saturday for commentary of the Imps on that game. Right. Free kick for Peterborough. Can they get the first goal in this game? Plenty of movement inside the penalty. Headed away near post. I think it was by Walker. And Lincoln are pressing the ball all the way back to Pym. And Lincoln have done what they have done well, as long as they moved their back 4 well away from goals. They've had to force the Peterborough players back to the halfway line as well. Pym plays it long downfield. And Tony goes up for it, flicks it on, but it's cleared away by Boswick. Coming back at Lincoln City again, but they've won it back, but Grant can't control it, and it goes out of play for a throw.
It's certainly been enthralling in terms of competitiveness. We've not many strikes on goal, but both teams giving us as good as each is getting. Well,
at the moment, my prediction of goals is looking some way off.
Sure.
Eardley chasing down the ball. Really good to see, trying to make it difficult for Peterborough in possession. He and Harry Anderson have almost changed positions briefly, and that was nice to see from Anderson. He dropped back in at full-back when Eardley went to press the ball. It's now with Bennett. Poor ball from him, cut out by George Grant at the cost of a throw halfway inside the Peterborough half. They're defending the Stacey West End, where their supporters are behind the goal. Some 1,700, can't see too many empty seats at that end. There's a few little splotches around the ground, people still away on holidays, I guess. But largely sold out Sincilbank. And the temperature of the noise just dropped a touch. As Peterborough get it forward with Boyd, ball straight through the middle, it hit the backside of Mo Issa, and Eardley will tidy things up and play it to Toffolo, who's not quite got into the game for me so far. He had a little burst forward, but they're coming up against Woodyard, and he's causing them some problems just now. But Toffolo does well, tries to play it downfield, straight into the back of a Peterborough player. But I guess Woodyard's there for that, isn't he? Maybe they've looked at the books, looked at what Lincoln do in terms of attacking down the left-hand side, and Woodyard can block it off.
Well, I mean, we know Alex Woodyard from his days. He's a hard-working midfield player, isn't he? He don't get many goals. He tends to break play up. He's more destructive than constructive, but he works hard in getting the ball back for his team, and then looks to give it either to strikers or someone else who can play.
Well, Woodyard is very much involved in the action at the moment. It's all on the Peterborough right. That's where Woodyard's playing, on the right of that three-man midfield. Very different sort of player on the left-hand side of the three-man midfield. Boyd, who's playing right at the top level, but is very much an attacking player as well. Headed away by O'Connor. Cleared into the City half. Bolger competes straight against Tony and comes out on top. And a little stretch from Morrell. Can't quite feed the ball through to Walker. And Lincoln not getting more than 2 or 3 passes together at the moment, which will frustrate the manager. But they are working very hard when not in possession. It's back on the edge of the area with Peterborough. They look to try and find a way through Lincoln's bank of 2 rows of red, and then a second of just 2 players. Posh in possession. Hesketh, who hasn't had too many touches really. And now Madison, how deep has he come, Tom, over the ball? He was actually playing in front of the centre half then. But Peterborough have managed to create a little bit of space down the left-hand side and one a corner. But how deep would Madison have to come? He was actually playing as a centre half then.
Yeah, he's... I'm quite surprised actually, because he's the guy that you think plays in the more forward role and makes things happen. But I think Lincoln are doing such a good job of closing Peterborough down that they're actually pushing a lot of Peterborough players back towards their own back 4.
Michael Appleton not really moved from his position inside the technical area, watching. I'm sure a little nervous to see how his team do with this set piece. Ball into the box, it's an easy one for Josh Vickers, or he certainly makes it look easy. He comes to the edge of his area. He's got a couple of Peterborough players around him, and he plays a long one down the left-hand side. It comes through to Toffolo, bounces nicely for him. Toffolo, first time into the area, and it's a shot just wide from George Grant. That would have been some goal if George Grant had finished that.
You talk about having 6 and 7 passes. I mean, that was from Vickers' long punt down the pitch. Toffolo 1 touch, and then Grant with a 1-touch volley. So he was at about a 3-touch goal if it would have come off.
Bolger's come across to clear. Tony though, a neat little back heel. That's a very clever piece of play. Issa into the air, terrible pass from him, goal kick Lincoln City, but smart piece of play from Tony for all the criticism of his other ways that he dealt with Lincoln players. That was a very clever piece of play, and it's been kicked straight at him by Bostwick. Ball into the box, Bostwick. He'll need to clear this, and does. But that was nearly one of those when you play yourself not just into trouble but to conceding a goal. Tony couldn't quite believe the ball came to him. Now Lincoln are breaking forward. Anderson over the halfway line, sprinting forward. Tyler Walker. The ball's played behind Walker. Nearly picked up by Grant. Breaks down to Eardley on the halfway line. Spreads it to the left-hand side. There's Toffolo, and he pushes forward. Lincoln once again asking questions, and it's Morrell scuttling to the edge of the area. Back to Toffolo, and now it's with Hesketh. Hesketh, chance to shoot, right-footed, straight up him, 0-0. I think it's a goal in one of our other featured games at Grantham, I think it was, with Graham Cowell. Gainsborough with Dale.
where Trinity have taken the lead. A brilliant cross from Simon Russell was headed in by Greg Smith for his first goal for the Blues. Gainsborough 1, Matlock 0.
So a bit of a opportunity or two for Lincoln that time, and they played themselves into trouble but also created going forward.
Yeah, I think what's good and what Michael Hobson has got Lincoln doing is that when they do go forward now, they're going forward in numbers, and the midfield players are getting up amongst the strikers and getting into positions where they can have a strike at goal.
Once again, not too convinced by some of the football at the back, and they're pressurised for Peterborough. And Lincoln will take great belief, and then I'm sure they'll take great belief from the Peterborough side on the ball that Michael Bostwick tried to play in the football they're playing at the moment. They're being pressed back by Tony. They're trying to keep calm, but you see, that's the trouble. You play yourself into trouble, and you just got to decide when to play the football and when not to play the football. Tony on the edge of the area, chance to load it into the box. Back to Tony, looking for the shot. Oh, that's a very good finish. Very, very good finish, and that's all come from Lincoln overplaying in the back.
Yeah, it looks good when it comes off, Michael, doesn't it? But unforced errors. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of this in this division. You're asking players, I think, Michael, and you can disagree if you like, but you're asking players to do things that they're not comfortable doing. And just as you try and play it out from the back, I'm all an advocate for playing football, but in the right areas of the pitch, and really Lincoln have shot themselves in the foot. And I mean, that is a superb finish, isn't it? We were right behind it, and he's bent it into Vickers' left-hand corner, leaving Josh Vickers no chance.
Well, it's the Peterborough fans who are making the noise. First goal in a couple of games for them. And Bolger plays it long downfield and straight out of play for a throw to Peterborough.
I mean, that's the difference as well, Michael. A player who can get you something out of nothing as well.
There's a flare on the pitch. A blue one.
I mean, explain to me, Michael. You're a Peterborough supporter, you've just scored, and you've thrown the flare at your own goalkeeper in his 6-yard box.
And in about 10 seconds maybe they can have a corner, and he's got smoke in his eyes.
Well, the other thing, it gets into your throat as well, doesn't it? And I mean, where's the brains?
They're not there. But some would say no pyro, no party.
I mean, you know, I'm against it anyway, but just throwing it into your own goal mouth, your own goalkeepers, crazy.
It's City playing all the way back to Vickers, and then look to clear long downfield. And Walker goes up, breaks back for O'Connor. O'Connor's going to get a second bite of the cherry, and he scuttles forward. Ball just gets away from him. O'Connor slides in on Woodyard. Woodyard gets back up. Lincoln coming forward inside with George Grant. Woodyard in with the challenge, and Peter are being forced back towards their own goal. Woodyard getting a bit of treatment from the Lincoln fans. It's flicked on into Walker on the edge of the area, can't quite control it. Back with Morrell, heads it out to the left-hand side, and Toffolo playing it in for Hesketh. Hesketh, Johnson into the area, going to get a second chance, or in fact get a corner. More goals in this game, definitely more goals in this game.
Oh, I'm loving some of these tackles, and I mean, they're going for the ball as well, aren't they? It's a great advertisement for the division.
Going to be a corner for the Imps on the left into the penalty area. A little flick header, and Peterborough should clear it. It's going to be hooked back in by Bostwick. Anderson can't get hold of it. Peterborough with Woodyard looking to bring the ball away. Woodyard gets it forward. City get in the challenge. Bostwick commits the foul free kick to the team in blue.
What I've just mentioned about the physicality of the challenges, I just think that the referee just might have to assert his authority a little bit and just have a wag of his finger. Looks like it's Michael Bostwick who's getting the first wag of the finger.
Just over the half an hour mark, and it's 1-0 to Peterborough. Lincoln playing themselves into trouble, perhaps overplaying at the back, and a tidy finish in the number 17 Tony. It's given the Posh a 1-0 lead. So Peter with the free kick. back towards the halfway line, but certainly should be able to find the edge of the penalty area. Playing it down the left channel, Tony comes for it. He's got two Lincoln players around him, but plays it back into midfield. Chance for Reed to get it into the box. Should be brought away by Toffolo. Does well. Brought down by Morrell. Ball bobbles up at him, but he's over the halfway line. Slides it out to the left, and Toffolo looking to try and win a corner. And does he? Yes, he does.
Toffolo's engines this season, Michael, and then the way he's got forward so quickly from his left back position has been fantastic.
Yeah, he said to me in the interview we did at Birmingham, he'd worked hard on to get his fitness to another level.
He's certainly done that. He's really getting advanced positions and done it at a...
Stacey was sent to the ground, corner to Lincoln City, ball into the box, headed away by a Peterborough defender. It's going to come back out. George Grant with a chance to play it back into the area, and there's a Peterborough player on the floor, referee not interested, and Morrell fighting for the ball against Issa Bulger, and it's played all the way back to Eardley, and Eardley's going to take it wide. Woodyard's with him, and Eardley clears long downfield. Hesketh looking to flick it around the corner, comes off a Peterborough player, goes out for a throw, which Neil Eardley will take.
The left back, who I thought was a good player at Newport, came to Peterborough in the summer. Certainly having some anxious moments to get Anderson. He's panicking somewhat.
Short throw into Tyler Walker, ball bobbles away from him, but Lincoln have it back now with O'Connor. O'Connor coming forward, good run from O'Connor to the byline, looks to get the cross to the back post, keeper can't get to it, it's just got a bit too much on it, no Lincoln player near it, and Peterborough will bring it away, but good to see O'Connor getting forward when he can as well and trying to influence the play. Peterborough in possession, out on the left, sliding the ball forward. Boyd turns and gets it into Tony on the edge of the D, looking for his second goal. Ball just gets behind him, breaks to Madison, back into the area, headed away by Bulger, and just as Issa was about to shoot downfield, shoot at the goal I should say, in came the challenge from George Grant to stop it, but Peterborough beginning to look very dangerous when they come forward.
That's what the words out of my mouth, just starting to, as you said, look very authoritative when they're getting into Lincoln's final third, and really, as you said, looking dangerous to getting a second goal.
Tyler Walker couldn't quite control it, ball goes out of play, going to be a throw for Peterborough, and I can tell you there's a goal in the Boston game. You can hear this commentary online with Mark Hone.
He's clean on side. Adam Marriott, he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper Peter Crook, and scores! One straight ball over the top. Adam Marriott one-on-one with Peter Crook, never looked like missing, fires it into the back of the net. 1-0 to Kings Lynn.
The games were 1-0 up, Boston 1-0 down, Lincoln 1-0 down.
I'll say it again, Marriott's too good for that league.
Lincoln City coming forward, Morrell, and now Hesketh wide to the right to Eardley, and Eardley chips that ball for Anderson, who looks offside to me. Referee and assistant don't think so. Anderson to the byline, wins a throw. I certainly thought he was at least one pace beyond the defenders. Eardley takes the throw into Hesketh, back to Eardley, bounces up on him, but Eardley, a left-footed ball into the area, half cleared, don't do too well, but the referee has seen the infringement. There's going to be a free kick to Peterborough.
Yeah, did Walker there, he rotated the big centre half of Peterborough. Walker, he knew that he could win it himself, tried to obstruct him. Beavers, the big centre back, who I like for Peterborough, a big unit but strong, and done about his distribution.
10 minutes to go in the first half. 1-0 to the visitors. Tony's goal the difference. And Lincoln, they just conceded possession, and now Peterborough coming forward until Bostwick gets in the way. Hesketh goes in for it, but Madison, the number 11, comes up with it. He's being forced back to the halfway line, and then he makes an absolute meal of the challenge from Hesketh.
Yeah, but what Madison does very, very well, he buys those free kicks, doesn't he? He entices you and says, come on then. He's effectively a ball player, isn't he, Madison?
Peterborough blessed with plenty of attacking talent. It's not bad when you've got Dembele and Ward on the bench for you.
Well, Dembele made a massive difference at Peterborough when he came on his pace, didn't he?
Frightening pace. So free kick for the Posh. Chance to load the ball into the City penalty area. It's headed clear. It's a chance for Lincoln to break. George Grant just loses possession. Peterborough then lose it back. Then Hesker's pulled down by the returning defender. And I think that's going to be the first yellow card of the day. And it's going to be for the number 24 for them, Niall Mason.
Yeah, old phrase, taking one for the team. His teammate got dispossessed on the halfway line, and Lincoln were looking to raid the Peterborough back two. There was only two at the back for Peterborough, and he took one for the team. Intentional foul. A booking.
Funny how games can be so different. You know, this one compared to 3 days ago. Chalk and cheese in lots of ways. Good ball from Bolger. Eardley's got acres of space. Chance to load the ball into the box. Into the penalty area it goes. And it's not dealt with by Peterborough. Brought down by Harry Anderson. Inside the penalty area. Anderson with players around him. O'Connor lifts it into the box. Not exactly cleared well by Peterborough. But now back to the halfway line where Bolger heads it wide to Toffolo. But it, as to use Tomo's phrase, his head was like a biscuit tin that came off the side. And Lincoln have recovered though. Bolger now with Boswick out to the right, and Eardley slides it forward into Hesketh. Hesketh holds on to it, picks up the free kick.
Yeah, it's both teams are working hard to close each other down, but giving silly free kicks
Early
away.
Ball from Eardley. Oh, that's great play. Oh, he didn't quite hold on to it. Really nice idea that time from George Grant. Ball just got away from him, Tomo, otherwise he was in.
Great ball from Neil Eardley, wasn't it? Big 40-50 yard crossfield ball. You don't expect to get there, but it did.
Sign of how quickly Lincoln don't want to move this ball is that Bolger took a throw just then to Morrell. It's now with Eardley. And from right back he plays it forward, looking at Hesketh to flick it on. He can't quite do so. It's brought down though, and O'Connor's over the halfway line. Looks up and looks for Tyler Walker. Keeper comes straight, gathers it in. Still 1-0 to Bosch.
Yeah, lucky for Michael O'Connor there. He just had a quick glance up and saw Walker get between the two Peterborough centre backs, but unlucky, just a little bit too much on it.
So just that Ivan Toney goal, the difference between the two local rivals. Peterborough the better of the head-to-heads with 19 wins to City's 13. 14 draws in there as well. Lincoln pushing forward. And it's with Morrell, and he plays a very neat ball out to the right hand side to Anderson, who has to stretch to hold on to it. He's got the overlapping run of Eardley, spots it. Eardley back inside. Hesketh holds on to it. Hesketh pirouettes, gets it back to Eardley. City looking now as the ball's into the penalty to George Grant, headed away by Peterborough, but Grant picks it back up again. Eardley trying to get to the byline. Challenge comes in from Boyd, and it's a throw for City. Back to Eardley, and it's another throw for City. And George Boyd certainly getting very involved in this game as Hesketh forced back, gets it to O'Connor. O'Connor slides it forward, and Eardley picks it up on the rebound of a Peterborough player. Back inside Lincoln, into the area, Tyler Walker over the keeper, and there's it, a corner. It's a save by the keeper. Yes, it's a corner.
That's terrific predatory work from Walker, because he wasn't to know that was he gambled that the ball would get to him, and he took a good save from Pym, the Peterborough keeper. I thought it was goalward bound for 1 minute, but Pym got enough on it, put it over the crossbar, corner for Lincoln, but good chance.
Plenty of encouragement for City. Can they get a goal to level it? Ball into the area, back post. Walker, oh, and it just is the keeper who tips it away. Walker coming in, but Pym raised his arm and just pushed it away from him at the last moment. It's going to be a Neil Eardley throw, and City with 4.5 minutes till half time asking questions defensively of Peterborough. Long throw into the posh area. Bolger tries to flick it on. Comes back out. Hesketh over the defending player, but cleared away. And then back with Toffolo, who by hook or crook has gone through a couple of Peterborough players and cleared it away. Madison concedes possession back, but Lincoln can't hold on to it. In comes George Grant, does well. Morrell comes up with the ball. Halfway inside the Peterborough half. Out towards the right. Anderson controls it. Behind him is Eardley. Eardley crosses into the area. Half cleared by Peterborough. Chance for Morrell, shoots wide.
Morrell's been magnificent this first half for me. He's really pulled the strings, and he's been peppering Anderson with the ball, hasn't he, on his right hand side. And we've said at times our wingers, Michael, sometimes they just don't get into the game and get enough of the ball, but certainly down his right hand side, Morrell has just been peppering balls and fizzing them out to Anderson, and he must have had, I would think, a good 60% of the balls out this right hand side.
3.5 minutes till the break. And it's going to be eventually him to clear, the keeper. Long to the halfway line. That's come straight out of play, pretty poor from him. He gets applause from Tony, not quite sure why. The scorer of the goal, a player that is attracting attention, former Newcastle player. Morrell, central midfield, into the feet of, I think that was Grant, and Grant was fouled. It's going to be a free kick for the Imps, and there you go, Mr. Angry's got hold of the ball, and he wants to get Lincoln going forward, and Hesketh gets a neat lead to Boswick. Boswick outside into Eardley. Eardley under pressure. He's going to get a throw, is he? Oh dear. Really?
How to make yourself popular and win friends at Lincoln. Give a throw that should have been Lincoln to the opposition.
It wasn't too close to the fourth official, it was just right in front of him.
Not allowed an opinion.
I know the feeling, Tommy. It's Butler, the fullback, with the throw. Down the line. Headed away by O'Connor. It's be another throw. Thrown longer and headed away by Eardley. Hesketh stretches for it, can't get onto the end of it. And being forced back to the halfway line. Long ball into the Lincoln half. Eardley will get the clearance in, and what's he seen now?
He thinks there was a bit of afters from Hesketh, I think, because the left back Butler played it forward. We think the referee thought Hesketh left his foot in.
There's a free kick for the Posh. Our next commentary game with Lincoln is, how many days is it? Is it 3? 3 days time? I've lost track.
Absolutely.
Saturday we're up at the Stadium of Light with about 3,000 Lincoln fans for the game against Sunderland. It's been a rough and tough run of games. High ball into the edge of the Lincoln area. Not quite dealt with yet. Now Toffolo clears to the halfway line. George Grant, who, I don't know, seems to have had a bit of pace that I didn't think he had. He's chasing in on the keeper, and Pym takes a touch and will clear long downfield. Headed back by Toffolo. Comes back at Lincoln again, and Bolger gets his header in, and George Grant chasing out to the right hand side. He's worked very hard these last couple of games, Grant, to try and have an impact.
Certainly been a very committed first 45 minutes from both teams. Both teams really going at hammer and tongs, with the referee contributing, I think, to a game where we've seen a bit of physicality, but the referee let them get on with it.
And there we go, a bit more of it. Morrell, oh, nearly the perfect ball. Referee has seen the handball, in fact, from the Peterborough player that blocked it off, because that was nearly a perfect ball from Morrell out towards the right hand side. I do like the way he gets the game going again, Morrell, when he gets hold of it. He looks up, doesn't he? And he looks, left, right, which way.
What I like about him, as well as the point I think you're trying to make as well, is he looks to play the ball forward whenever possible. He don't go back and sideways.
2 minutes to the break.
I can actually say it's the coldest I've been this season.
I think so, yeah. Ball chipped into the penalty area, and it's turned behind by a Lincoln player. I think it was Bostwick. He was looking to run down the left channel and just hook it back across the area, and it just hits the side netting.
Yeah, I think he was just stretching, wasn't he? But for 1 minute, I thought he'd just got enough on it to force it in at the near post, but into the side netting and for a goal kick. But Peterborough 1-0. It could have gone either way. It's been nip and tuck. Not many chances, but the difference with a bit of class from Tony for Peterborough.
Taking the scores across the country and locally in a few minutes. Pym clears. Not a good clearance. He's struggling with his kicking. It's 2 out of play. We can take the throw quickly. It's back with Eardley. He's going to have another throw. And they just need to keep believing for me, Lincoln, because they will get opportunities in the second half. In fact, if anything, Peterborough, their chances haven't been huge.
It's never going to happen. I wonder why it couldn't go back to Bostwick and start again there.
And Lincoln City with a throw. I should say Boston are losing last we heard. Gainsborough winning.
Could be Raw in the northeast on Saturday, Michael.
Oh, I'll be in the press. I'll be in a warm box. I'm going to go to. It's getting there, Tomo. It's like going up a mountain to the press box, apparently.
Oh, free kick, referee.
We're beginning to run out of time. Referee has a quick look at his watch. Eardley spreads the ball all the way from right to left to Toffolo. Controls it with his knee. That's the last of the whistle for the referee. Well, the thing that divides the teams is Lincoln playing themselves into a spot of bother, really.
Yeah, it's been the first 45 of not a lot of chances, but 2 very competitive teams. They always say be careful of the wounded beast. Peterborough lost 2 the last games and lost them heavily, 4 and 3-0. So I'm sure Darren Ferguson will have read on the right tax that they need to get back on track.
I think we're getting a Lincoln change right at the start. Unfortunately, there's fans that are standing in the way, but it's going to be Payne coming on. I'm just trying to see down on the pitch who is making way. O'Connor. I wonder if there's perhaps just a flare up of one of his injuries, maybe.
Well, he got that nasty crack in the back, didn't he?
Number 10, Jack Payne.
It'll be interesting to see, and Payne maybe with a point to prove to the managers. Hasn't had too much of a run out of late, so you might want to have a point to prove.
Well, another interesting one, Michael, which we've discussed in the last couple of games, is Grant moving into the central midfield.
Yeah. Well, I think is he the most improved player under the new manager Appleton? And certainly, I think in the last few weeks, as more has come to his game.
I think what Mike Lamb said, listen, you've got to get more involved, and you've got to give me more. But I'm certainly intrigued every time he goes into central midfield, Michael, because there's no question that he's got technical ability. He's got vision as well, hasn't he? He should, if you can get the whole package, which is the work rate, putting your foot in, win headers, I doubt very much, but I think he just wants a bit more from him, Michael Appleton. But he can certainly open the door for you.
And I guess, thinking of playing around in the back again, I guess also use those tricks and use that skill like he just has now at the right moment. Fantastic vision, getting the ball forward, bounces through, and the keeper doesn't come for it. Lincoln only benefited from a ball through the middle. And I think Toffolo's a little unlucky not to get a foul given in his favour there, but City pushing forward. Hesketh out to Toffolo. Toffolo, little loop ball into the area, headed away by a Peterborough defender. And they're just struggling a little bit to clear their lines there. Bostwick looking for the challenge. It looked like it came off Easton, did it? Which way have they given it? No, it came off a Lincoln player. It's going to be a throw Peterborough's way, but almost on cue. A fantastic little shimmy in midfield and a great right to left ball from George Grant.
Sorry, he's got a little trick that gets him a yard of space, hasn't he? He's not quick, but he's got a trick that gives him a yard of space to play, and he's got a good array of passing abilities.
Well, it does feel that maybe the manager's starting to get to grips with him and getting him playing in the right places when it's needed.
Well, I think we've discussed, haven't we, there's a football player in there, without a shadow of a doubt. He's proved that when he's been on loan at Notts County and Mansfield.
Well, I know it counts for Toffee, but I have to say, we said so about this squad anyway, but he is a genuinely nice guy with you. get a chance to have a chat with him. But anyway, that doesn't matter. It's about playing football, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and sometimes, Michael, it can sometimes take the player a little bit of time to realise, OK, I've got ability, but I've got to channel it and funnel it in the right direction as well.
Absolutely. He's been a victim of maybe too many loans over the years. Ball comes off Harry Anderson out to play for a Peterborough throw. Bit of a messy period of play from Lincoln. Around 10,000 at Sincilbank waiting for the next turn in this game. It's not been the thriller that the game on Sunday was, but it is nonetheless intriguing. 1-0 lead to Peterborough. Tony looking to flick it onto the area, cleared away by Boswick. And then picked up by Hesketh. He scuttles out to the right back position, then gives it to Eardley, the full-back, who plays it downfield for Walker, who does get the flick on. But Hesketh and everyone else are too far away. It's played all the way back to the keeper. He doesn't really want to have to clear on his right, but does, long over the halfway line. Toffolo, great control from him, wins it back into Payne, and Lincoln are moving forward. Hesketh holding on to it, and now Toffolo fouled. Great play from Harry Toffolo.
Yeah, I think he's been absolutely terrific from the start of the season. Harry Toffolo really added another dimension to his game, as you said. He worked his fitness, as he told you, and his defending for me has got better as well.
Grant down the side. Payne was given space by Grant. Payne charges into the box, into the feet of Hesketh. Back to Grant. Lincoln with tricky players. It works them in this area. Played into the penalty area. Breaks for Boswick to shoot. Hits a Peterborough player. Breaks back for Boswick again. Now Bolger chips it. Back post. Payne comes, stretches for it. Holds onto it. Cleared away by Peterborough. But Lincoln really with players with neat little technical feet. They're very tricky for Peterborough defenders in the area, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm pleased to see is more players get in the box, especially at home.
George Grant, lovely ball into midfield for Morrell. Back to Grant, it's all a bit stretched. And there's a throw for Lincoln.
The one other thing, Michael, what I like about Grant is, even if he's not playing particularly well, not passing it well, he doesn't hide, he still wants the ball.
He's showing for every throw, isn't he? Ball into Hesketh on the edge of the area. He's got the Peterborough defender to his back. Gives it to Toffolo. He's asking a lot of Toffolo. And I think that's Alex Woodyard, who does really well to shield the ball out of play for a Peterborough throw.
Yeah, typical Alex Woodyard sort of game for him. This, isn't it? Close down, work hard, break the opposition play up.
Well, I get why he's booed, but he was a very big part of Lincoln's success under the Counties.
No, he did nothing wrong while he was here, did he? He was all-hearted, 100%. I think he got a bit of stick because he was maybe...
Sometimes it's who you join as well, isn't it? If you join
I think everyone thought it was Danny's love child.
Vickers, Toffolo, and Woodyard's taking it off him, and Lincoln are having a defence here. Woodyard to the edge of the area, into Tony, the goal scorer, back to Woodyard, who's wide on the right, looking for a cross, ball into the byline, that's out for a goal kick. The Peterborough fans think he should have gone the other way. Vickers plays it out to Boswick, just on the edge of the area, and Boswick clears long over the halfway line. Walker chases after it, and the defender puts it out of play just after it goes out of play anyway, and no real pace to the game. Looking with a couple of little glimpses at the Peterborough goal. I'm trying to think if Pim's he has had a save, hasn't he, from Walker in the first half.
I mean, just put the Woodyard thing to bed. He's had to win Darren Ferguson over, hasn't he? Because Ferguson put him on the transfer list and said, if he finds a club, he can go. So fair play to Alex Woodyard. He's knuckled down and got on with it.
He's certainly a fighter. He's one of the players that we enjoyed chatting to on and off mic. Madison, long range shot, and it's comfortably saved by Vickers. It's one of those tricky ones that feel like a bouncing bomb in front of him, but he bowls it now quickly out towards Toffolo on the left hand side. Toffolo to Payne, back to the full back, and he chips it forward, but it's Payne who's showing plenty of determination, nearly wins the ball back again, but Woodyard suddenly, in the last half he wasn't really involved, he's suddenly been involved in several of the key moments, but Lincoln have won it back, and they're coming through the middle, and can they see a chance? Hesketh charging out to the left, pauses and skids on the surface, and out to the side will charge Payne, and Payne goes over. Lincoln fans think it's a foul. It's certainly not a foul, and Peterborough, big and strong in defence, play back to their keeper, who who under pressure clears to the halfway line. Tony feeling for Bolger, pushed him in the back, and that's a pretty simple decision for any official.
Not the most subtlest of free kicks, was it? I just thought there, Michael, I don't know about you, I thought the Peterborough player played the man before he played the ball. But nevertheless, being finicky, we don't want to stop the physicality of it.
Well, Payne looking lively. One really wants to get involved. He looks like a player who feels he has a point to prove to the manager. He's been on the fringes of late. Ball bobbles up on Eardley, but he recovers, gets it to Morrell. And Morrell spreads the ball wide beautifully to the left-hand side. Toffolo gets hold of it, down by the corner flag. Into the penalty area it goes. Nearly breaks back for Morrell. Comes back for the long-range shot from Eardley. Is it? No, into feet. Now back with Morrell. Out towards Eardley. One current, one former Welsh international involved. Back into Payne inside the area. Can't hold on to it. And away with the ball will come Madison. And alongside him is George Grant. Madison sprinting down the left-hand side. Grant covering the run. Grant, and it's a long-range effort from Madison, who certainly had the pace but lacked the direction. Still 1-0 to the Posh.
Well, I don't know about you, but that's pace that I didn't think Madison had.
I know.
I thought he slipped him Usain Bolt.
Credit Grant tracking him back as well.
I mean, he showed some quick turn of heels there, Madison.
Clearance from Vickers. Headed away only as far as Eardley. Eardley into midfield to George Grant. And Grant out towards the left-hand side. Toffolo has to check his run back into his own half. Into Morrell. Morrell loops the ball forward. Can't find a teammate. Toffolo there. And it's now all the way back to the goalkeeper, who is under pressure from Toffolo. And he charges it down at the cost of a goal kick. But he's leading by example.
Certainly having an excellent game, that is for sure, Toffolo.
The manager will be really happy with that. It's funny as to how you get very different sorts of ways of managers, and you think how incredibly animated Danny and Nicky could be at times. The ball down the channel. Issa, I think, would have been offside anyway, but the ball goes out of play for a goal kick. But Michael Appleton has sort of like a little square metre, and he barely moves out of it.
No, he doesn't give a lot away, does he? I mean, some fans, some chairmen like to see animated managers.
Yeah. Woodyard left it, didn't realise Payne was just behind him. Toffolo's fouled. Former teammate. Woodyard's getting the off. There's no such thing as sympathy in football. I think it's a yellow card, and that's it. And Woodyard.
He's not nasty like that, is he?
Gets the yellow and walks away. I'm pretty sure they didn't play together, actually. I think Woodyard had left by the time Toffolo came. And
very quickly, I'd say about the animated manager. When I was managing Notts County, Derek Purvis, God bless him, I thumped the dugout, Michael, a few times, and suddenly I stopped thumping it, and the chairman said, "Oh, Tom, why you stopped thumping the dugout?" He said, "The fans love it." I said, "Because I broke two of my fingers." So I decided against it. Oh, but the supporters love it.
Well, he's animatedly drinking now, Michael Appleton. I think he's picked up something of a nickname online. It's the Big Apple.
It's not that big, is it?
Well, I suppose when you're the boss, you're the Big Apple, aren't you? Anyway, he's just having a word with Jamie McCoop.
I was just going to say as well, is Toffolo's the one sort of position. I know they've got the lad on loan at the moment who can play left back, but he's the one, isn't he?
They've not got hundreds of left footers, have they? Certainly not defensively. With Shackle, you would not play at fullback. It'll be very different. We're going to get a change. Ward, the former Imp, is going to come on. No idea what the red number is there on that man on the official.
It's not working at all, is it?
No, but it's Boyd coming off. I have to say, he's a shadow of the player that, he looks at the moment like a player on the way out.
Well, I mean, Sheffield Wednesday and Burnley, and I was very much like you when we did the Peterborough game. I thought it's a player, unfortunately, that you've seen the best of, but happens to us all.
It's going to be Bolger who will prepared to take the free kick. Harry Toffolo on the side of the pitch.
I remember Michael Ward had blistering pains when we had him, didn't we?
I was going to say catch ferrets, but ferrets are not that fast.
Now they go down your trousers, don't they? That was the goal at Welling. Was it at Welling when he absolutely...
It was in the FA Trophy.
He motored down the right wing.
Yeah, I think he got a hat-trick that day. He may have got a hat-trick that day. Played really well. He was sort of the B team. He was in the B team at the time. Passing around at the back, Peterborough. Lincoln pressing the space. I don't think it'll be too long before the manager might think about a change. Most logical one being Akinde.
You wonder when.
Oh, that's great from Hesketh. He's charged the ball down for the defender, kept it in play, and then what a throw. Excellent, excellent.
I think that was out of play for half a yard, but
I think his effort deserved it though, almost. I know it doesn't work like that, but... Well, two Peterborough players are now chased after one Lincoln player. Lincoln looking for the space. He's trying to get it to Tyler Walker inside the area. They do just that. Walker spreads it to Eardley. Eardley has got Anderson outside of him. He'll receive the ball. Ball just bobbles a touch. Boyd is inside. Anderson goes outside. He charges to the byline. Looks back for Eardley. First time ball for the fullback. A high one to the back post. Hesketh will be underneath it. Shields it. Looks for support. Finds Toffolo, and he'll have Morrell. Morrell sorts his feet out. Neat little ball to Boyd, and City is getting the move going. We're going backwards at the moment. Now they go forwards a little bit with Boswick. Eardley, a ball down the channel. Can't get it through to the striker. And Peterborough cut it out and play it long downfield. Tony's not had exactly many touches. Back heels it to keep it in play, but it's comfortable for Lincoln to win the ball back. And Morrell scurries away from one. Boyd, he nearly gives it back, but it's back to Morrell over the halfway line. Plenty of space to run into. Plays it into Payne, and it just breaks down for Payne, but Lincoln win it back with Morrell once again. And then Boyd turns inside the centre circle and nearly played a glorious ball out to the right. The Lincoln fans appeal for handball. It wasn't for me. I think it was just top of the shoulder, and straight through the middle comes Madison. Still going Madison, and he shoots, and it's palm wide by Vickers. I have to assume he saw it late, and it goes wide for a corner.
I think an offside decision's been given for some reason.
How could that be offside? He shot. Don't be wrong. I'm happy for it to be Lincoln's way, but it can't be offside.
I just looked at the flag, and flagging for offside for some reason.
Amazing. Well, this will be controversial if Lincoln score from here, and they got a chance. Toffolo inside the area. Oh, and he goes down, and the referee has made the right decision. But you could easily see that going that way after such a controversial decision about the shot about a minute ago.
All I said, that had to be timed to perfection.
Throw into feet. Lincoln looking for an opening. Toffolo into it. Toffolo after it goes down. Referee not interested. Most likely at the moment way seems to be out the wide that Lincoln are going to cause some problems. They just need to find a bit of quality into the box with the final ball.
Yeah, it's amazing. The first off, it was all down this right-hand side, wasn't it, for Anderson and Eardley, and turning round at half-time, it's all been Toffolo and Payne down this left-hand side.
Floodlights in full effect, ball over the top, and it's brought down by Boswick. What will frustrate Michael Appleton is Tony and Issa, two fantastic players. Apart from the mistake for the goal, we haven't seen much of them so far. Oh, lovely little ball. City trying to pick it up on the edge of the area. It just breaks down at the wrong moment. And I think that's what you call a professional foul from Hesketh.
Yeah, I think a yellow's got to be given for that. Is it referee or?
He's got a yellow in his hand.
Yep.
I think that was a pro foul. You always find most people in the game just nod, say, yeah, yellow card, carry on.
It's like an acceptable yellow, isn't it?
Yes, especially so far away from goal. And it could have caused some problems because Peterborough were breaking. If you're going to cause problems for any player, do it to Madison because he is a danger. Yeah. It is incredible how little. I mean, I know they're probably going to score a goal each now in the next 5 minutes, but Issa and Tony have not really touched the ball much. Still 1-0 to Peterborough though.
Well, it's been a lot of play between the two 18-yard boxes, hasn't it?
Well, there we go, Tony to Issa, I should say. And now it's with Madison, very central, back into Issa. Oh, here we go. Tony, ball into the box, and he drives it across the 6-yard box. And how's he? What's he given here?
On the corner.
Well, it didn't touch a Lincoln player, did it?
I don't think it was anywhere near one, but
you know what they say about referees equalising decisions, don't you? I don't think there was a Lincoln player anywhere near it. Although, to be fair, none of the Lincoln bench have complained. We've still got the...
Don't seem to complain in time, Michael, does he? It's,
no.
Get on with it and we'll sort it out later.
1-0 to Peterborough at the moment. Corner, stays to west end of the ground. 1,700 posh fans behind the goal. Ball to be delivered into the Lincoln area towards the back post. Vickers doesn't come for it. It's half cleared. Lincoln trying to bring it away. They've got a chance now. They've got a chance to break. Anderson cuts his run, and then it's played high and out of play.
No, I mean, I don't mind the extra pass substitutions on its way, Michael, for Lincoln. Looks like the big man's coming on for me.
A chance for John Akinde to enforce himself. Interestingly, Michael Appleton, we asked him about, there's lots of rumours about John Akinde once again. It always seems that Salford surface as Madison is down his haunches, needing treatment.
All I will say is about, we saw the one pass, didn't we, for that Walker goal against Ipswich, but if you do need another pass, then if you can't get there in one, then you have to take the other pass.
Peterborough going backwards at the moment. Lincoln pressing the space, ball into the City half, headed away by Eardley, and Payne brings it down, the diminutive number 10. It's one back by Lincoln. George Grant just dispossessed, but City tidy it up. And now with a great chance to move through the middle. Out towards the left-hand side from Payne. Anderson has got the overlapping run of Eardley, but back inside to Grant. Grant across midfield will see the hand and passes to Toffolo. Hesker's with him. Toffolo makes the run. Hesker, bit of space into Payne just beyond him. Cleared away. I think Payne might have thought there was somebody behind him. I wasn't sure whether he could control it. Headed back to the Peterborough penalty area. Back now with the Imps and with Grant.
Do you know, Grant, Michael, he just gives you that bit of composure, doesn't he?
Yeah.
As though he's got time on the ball and he knows
Anderson
what he wants
turning
to do.
This way and that. Anderson charging down the right-hand side. Still going Harry Anderson. Ball inside the area. Peterborough clear. And Lincoln trying to win it back again, and Bostwick does well.
Lovely.
And I think Tomo likes the fact he caught the player afterwards, because that's what you do, don't you, as a defender?
That's a great tackle, isn't it? I mean, the players for Peterborough, no problem. It's just a great challenge.
I should say one other little thing. The Irish signing, who they're hopeful, depending on certain organisations, to have over the line and all sorted for Saturday. They described his running as gazelle-like, apparently, in the training ground. So I'm expecting Limper Christie.
Well, Usain Bolt never signed for anybody, did he?
He did actually, Tomo.
Well,
he signed for
he never got a full-time contract.
Hesketh comes off.
This has been the routine substitution, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, can he make an impact? Can Lincoln get something from this game? Not much in it. 1-0 the difference. Just under 25 minutes to go. Burst of noise from the Co-op stand. Not the sort of game we saw on Sunday, but nonetheless finally poised. Lincoln still in this.
You'd expect the big man Akinde, 10,000, good big game. Come on, let me show you what
wanted to play with the aggression we just saw from Bostwick, don't you? That's what you're saying. And he heads it on and out of play from Akinde for a throw to Peterborough. But that's what you're talking about. You saw the aggression from Bostwick in a challenge. That's kind of what you want to see from John, isn't it?
Yeah, put yourself about, put the centre-halves under pressure, make another in a game. Use your physical attributes that you've got, and he's got them in abundance, hasn't he? Big lad. Muscles in his spit.
Lincoln, running back with Anderson. Akinde. It's Walker on the edge of the area. Thinks about the shot. Takes it deflection. Oh, it goes in! And that is another goal for Tyler Walker. His 13th of the season. The deflection was a real problem for the keeper. He could only force it onto the underside of the crossbar. But City have levelled, and I think that's a fairer reflection of the game.
Well, they say if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win a raffle, and he's on his left foot, and he's thought, right, okay, I'll try it. And as you said, I mean, there's no taking away the deflections helped immensely, but it doesn't matter, does it? It was on target, and it's finished in the back of the net.
And the assist is is going to be John. I think he was the pass just before, wasn't he? So hopefully that helps. Peterborough now will be stung into life. Madison sprinting forward right through the middle, still going into the area. Tony with an overhead, and it's an overhead that would only trouble a Smurf, and it's gathered in by Vickers, who bashes into the back of Tony and then will clear long downfield, looking for Akinde to win it. Akinde can't, and it's back with Peterborough and Woodyard and Tom Where's this game go from here? A quarter bit left to go, 1-1 the scoreline.
Well, first I'm with you. I think it's nothing more than Lincoln have deserved.
Pin under pressure. Oh, and he's giving it straight to Payne. Payne into the area. Walker lines up, takes a deflection, and it's there. He scored as there. Is the referee given? No, he hasn't.
He's never going to give that, is he?
However, you know what, Tomo, I don't mind that. I don't mind the Lincoln players going and challenging the keeper and putting the fear of God in him, because he won't play the ball around much more at the back if he's got any sense, because he's not doing a great job of it.
Well, first of all, I've got to say that I think it is a foul, but Pym, the Peterborough keeper's not convinced me on crosses at all. But as soon as I saw him going up, I thought, that you've been around a long time, Michael. Referees, how many times they just blow the whistle, don't they, and deny you a goal?
Well, Peterborough will be asking questions of their big players. Easter turns and picks up a free kick. Lincoln won't be happy with it.
There's no doubt one of the more concerned managers at the moment.
Well, guess who's about to come? The man who changed the game.
Oh, absolutely. His pace was frightening, wasn't it? You're going back Gazelle. I mean, he was frightening at Peterborough when he came on, wasn't he?
And he's one of those players, Dembele. It's not just like we see Harry Anderson, for people listening at home, and he's almost likes to get a run up, doesn't he? Dembele just goes literally off a sixpence. I thought he was really impressive
as well. You're not quite sure what's in his head, so if you don't know what's in his head, what chance have you got?
I think the board belongs to Lincoln City. They need to put some lights in the red.
I think the batteries have gone.
Well, they're looking to take this free kick. Madison's over it. The man who's coming off, I think, is Easter. Yeah, it is, the number 7. He's not really impacted the game at all.
Not been in the game whatsoever, has he?
No, I mean, Tony, only with the ball given to him, has been in the game as well so far.
Looks disappointed, the lad, doesn't he? Which is good to see in a way, but credit to Lincoln's defenders, kept him quiet.
Madison is going to try and work Vickers, and my money is on Madison making this very difficult for Vickers. Over the wall, and Vickers very, very good. It could easily have spilled out of him. Very safe pair of hands from Lincoln's number 1.
They're hard ones, aren't they? The one where he just dips in front of you, and good hands from Josh Vickers.
Well, we had a thriller on Sunday. Maybe we're going to get a thrilling last 20 minutes. Peterborough pushing forward, trying to find a goal to go back in front. Lincoln fighting to win it back in twos, and they have it. And now forward comes Morel. He's pulled back. That's a stupid challenge from a man who's just come on.
Could it be
not even
a yellow card?
Oh, now he's squaring up to Morel, and he's pushed Morel over, and the referee might have a decision to make. It red card. What an amazing impact on the game Dembele had in Peterborough. He's had a similar one here in a completely different way. In the space, I think, of about 20-30 seconds, he's come on and he's gone off down the tunnel. Ridiculous.
What a crazy.
I think Morel's got a yellow as well, Tomo, just to confirm that. Well, if I'm the Peterborough manager, I'm absolutely furious. I mean, I'd like to time that. How many seconds between the red and coming on? Because I don't think there's much more than a minute. He's got his head bowed, and well he might, because he's a talented player. You know, you and I both liked him away at Peterborough, and he couldn't have had a more different impact on the game today.
Darren Ferguson must be absolutely wondering what is happening, because he's put him on to change the game, and he's changed the game all right. He's got himself sent off.
18 and a half, well, it'll be 20 minutes by the time.
It must be petulance on that. The first one was a foul, and then what's he done? Pushed him to the floor.
It looked like he pushed his head towards him. I thought.
The more that you tell me about Morel and the more say about him, he's one of those players that
you love in your team, but he's the one to be against you. Eardley plays it forward into the area, headed away by a Peterborough defender. And it's going to come back for Lincoln. Morel, ball into the box, out towards it, and Tony heads it back to the keeper. And we're going to...
I thought it was just 19 seconds he'd been on.
Well, it wasn't much more than that. he came on for the free kick. I reckon it's less than a minute. Try and get some. Well, that's down the back of the press box. There's people with stopwatches there who are keeping an eye on that sort of a thing, as Peterborough just look a little bit at 6s and 7s at the moment, and Lincoln need to make the most of this now. 18 minutes to go, 1-1 the scoreline. Here on Hope, looking for some glory. Toffolo coming forward, playing it into George Grant. Grant, chance for the shot, just goes wide, and City are fighting forward.
Well, I was going to say, Michael, when it was 11v11, I was going to say when it was 11v11 that I thought that it was nip and tuck who would get the final goal, and there will be a final goal in this, but I would have to say that Lincoln are going to be the favourites to win it now. I will tell you as well that the board has just been changed by the Lincoln kitman.
Less than a minute, Tomo, he was on for. We haven't got seconds, but less than a minute. What a plonker.
You get castigated as a manager, but you don't tell a lad to go on and get sent off after a minute, do you? I don't know. Your man must have done a great job on it.
Anyway, 1-1 the scoreline, Lincoln with a man advantage. Boston still 2-0 down. Last we heard in their big game against Kingsland. Real disappointment that. Big crowd at Yorkshire, I think it was something like 2,000. Big crowd here as well, Lincoln City, around 10,000 watching. Just 1,700 hopeful of a Peterborough result. The rest wanting a result for the team in red and white. Toffolo goes round Woodyard like he's not there. Forward comes Toffolo to Payne. Payne back to Toffolo. Toffolo's hauled down. Referee not in the slightest interested. I thought that was closer than the last one. And I tell you what, Woodyard now knows he's on a yellow, doesn't he? Because he couldn't really stop him running around him.
Well, it's that insult to injury. As Toffolo's gone past him, I thought he got a chance of a free kick, but certainly a throw, and he finished getting neither.
It's easy for you to say. And Tony fighting for it, goes down. Looks a little tired.
There's only one winner for this, Michael, if Lincoln keep
played the football the right way, isn't it?
Yeah. If the big man puts himself about a bit, as the
Boswick gets it forward down the outside. It's headed away by a Peterborough defender. Woodyard looks up. And he's got Tony downfield, but Lincoln cut it out. And they're trying to win it back. Woodyard's got players scurrying around him, and I'm going to guess that Morrell might just be Tomo's man of the match at the moment, because he's been everywhere. Been all over the park, and pressure. Well, they're not going to pass back to the keeper, but they're being forced back. Peterborough, Lincoln trying to close down the space, and Lincoln are willing runners, they're fit runners, and Peterborough going backwards at the moment. Tyler Walker comes up with a throw for the Imps, and Peterborough are all over the shop.
I'm just looking at Madison, Michael. He looks absolutely on his feet to me.
They got one change left, haven't they, Peterborough? Ball into the box for Lincoln over the heads of Akinde, cleared away. Comes back, George Grant chests it down into the area, hooked on by Anderson, over Tyler Walker, and away come Peterborough. 15 minutes to go in this game. Just a sixth of it left. Bolger, terrific from him. Well, I have to say he's done well so far against Tony. You can tell because Tony's just given him a shove. Yeah,
I've been impressed with Bolger since Shackle's been out injured. I mean, Bozzy's come on and done his usual job. He's very solid in there, but Bolger, I was a little bit suspect about defending, but he's headed it, he's cleared it, and become more of a solid defender.
Well, it says a lot that Jason Shackle's on the bench, because the manager gave the impression a foul on Tony. Oh no, not given. I think Tony's handled the ball, and the referee has said you handled the ball and you shouldn't. Lincoln tried to take the free kick quickly, weren't allowed to.
He's given the free kick to Lincoln.
Yeah, because he fell over and held the ball. It looks, I think Tony's a bit unfortunate in that one.
Darren Ferguson don't think the whole world against him.
And it's buts and maybes, Tomo, but it's actually only a bit of Lincoln overplay that's cost them today, because they've really kept Peterborough generally pretty quiet so far, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, alternatively,
Lincoln haven't had much.
Peterborough will argue that it's been a very tight game, hasn't it? It's been two teams that have given everything and really found it hard to break each other down, but play between the two 18-yard boxes.
Michael O'Connor coming off at half-time. Referee, is he giving you a card, or did he drop his cards? Stuffed them back in the pocket. Should say, as the Bolger clearance goes out, well, words from the commentator. Talking about how well he done. Comes off his boot, goes out for a corner.
Did that leg belong to him?
I should say that that's the referee's first red card in 20 games. So it's not like he's card happy.
It looked like it was petulance the first one, and then he sort of pushed him over, turned himself a second yellow.
Well, you know what happens now? It's the sucker punch. Peterborough corner, 1-1. Can they make it 2-1? Ball, it's very deep, poor corner, straight out of play. And people always say Madison's on the move, and people fancy him. But if he takes corners like that, he won't be on the move.
Well, I'm not sure how much he contributes.
His energy level.
Not a 90-minute player. He's fits and starts for me.
Morale scurries away from here. He's a 90-minute player. He's like a little Duracell bunny over the halfway line. Eardley looking around, plays it back to Grant, who's got acres of space. Into Payne. Oh, he tries to get past one, thinks about the shot, takes a deflection, keeper does well. Still 1-1.
I think you're being a bit kind to Morel calling him a bunny. I don't know.
Duracell bunny.
I know what you mean, but not a bunny. I think it was some other animal, I don't know.
Fiercer.
Demented ferret or... really gets under your skin.
There he goes, he wins it back again. I think you've got an easy decision today, to be honest, Tomo. It's out towards Tyler Walker, and he is tackled well.
Well, Toffolo's been outstanding as well.
Yeah, true.
But Morel's been...
And also, George Grant's had a decent game today, I think.
Yeah, I think Morel's just been constantly at it. I can't remember where he's not been involved in something or other.
I just wonder obviously playing a lot of Lincoln gives you belief, but playing in the national squad and with the players that he gets to play with must give you so much belief. Forward come Lincoln, Harry Anderson on the corner of the penalty area. Anderson looking around for the cross, gets inside the area, cleared away. Sheraton shoots. It's with Toffolo, right on the corner of the area, plays it in, it's loose inside the area, comes back for Akinde trying to use his strength, and it's just taken away from him. Toffolo slides in, but away comes Woodyard. Great play from Woodyard, and then there's a challenge from Bolger, and Madison is going to pick up a free kick. What is the referee doing now? It's not a yellow on Bolger for me, is it? That's a bit of something and nothing. Well, I think that was won by the bench.
The bench, only so the coaching staff have got him there, haven't they? They were all out to a man, weren't they? I think they're demanding more than a yellow as well.
Well, there were players behind, and let's be honest, Madison's not going to get in on goal. He hasn't got any pace.
It's going to be a frantic last 10 minutes or so plus added time.
We'll get to Dale's story. There's a goal in the Gainsborough game. I think it's still 0-0 Grantham Town. Gainsborough were 1-0 up last, we heard. 1-1 the scoreline here at Sinsel Bank. Remember, Peterborough down to 10 men for that bizarre sending off for Dembele. Inside a minute of coming on, he's off. Ball played forward. That's a poor free kick from Peterborough. Easy one for Vickers. I can half see the idea, but he had no pace on it. Lincoln now forcing their way forward. Away comes Toffolo. Peterborough, though, just cut it out, and we can get to the North Home and to Dale,
where Matlock have equalised with their first shot on target. Substitute Daniel Bramall coming in unmarked at the back post to make it Gainsborough 1, Matlock 1.
Lincoln in possession with Boswick. And forward they come. Eardley back inside. Boyd. Lots of space for George Boyd. Slides it down the channel looking for Eardley, and Eardley's cross. I think that's probably his worst cross of everyone he's made this season. Normally they're excellent. He just skied it that time, and we've still got 9.5 minutes plus. I think there might be quite a chunk of stoppage time to play.
Yeah, I think the terminology now that managers use is when something like that happens with Eardley. I mean, it won't affect Eardley because he's a seasoned pro, but being brave enough just to, I'll do it again. I'll get forward again, but next time I'll make it a better cross. But I mean, I think we're coming to an agreement that certainly at home, I mean, we're not seeing it with, but Grant is certainly influential there as a central midfield player. It gives you composure, vision, doesn't it? And then it gives you an array of long and short passing.
And he's not scared of a challenge. He'll tackle.
Yeah,
he's not an errata, and he's got perhaps more of a errata alongside him in the nicest possible way.
What kind of pets have you got? Bunnies and ratters.
You know exactly what I mean. Ball round the corner, Walker's onto it. Walker against the defender.
Yeah, free
the
kick.
Referee just thinks Walker pushed him too much. It's amazing how a player who's 6'3" goes down quite so easily. Lincoln get one more chance in this game for me. It's when they take it. There haven't been many chances, have there, on either side?
The more anxious bench is obviously Peterborough down to 10 men.
Looking very tired.
Lincoln in the ascendancy, and like you said, I think there's one or two tired legs out there. Madison sort of gone out of the game for Peterborough.
Let's get to the games we gave the goal there with Dale.
Trinity have retaken the lead. 8 minutes to go. Mitchell Dunn smashing into the net after a layoff from Greg Smith. Gainsborough 2, Matlock 1.
He's done it again, the talisman, hasn't he?
Ball over the halfway line. Bolger looking to clear. He gets a good head to it. Akinde goes up, flicks it on for Walker, trying to get it back to Akinde. Just catches on the surface, and Peterborough with 2 men up against 7. And Tony holds on to it, and now it's with Woodyard, the former Imps, scurries across midfield, gets it out to the left-hand side. Peterborough, high ball into the box. Vickers does excellent, really well, and he's got a few Peterborough players well out of the game, but his clearance is long and not the best. But City will tidy up with Eardley, and now they look to find a way forward. Morrell once again in central midfield. 7 minutes to go over the halfway line. Still coming forward, Morrell, looking for options. Out to Anderson. Anderson on the right. He's got Eardley outside him. And then Boyd finds Eardley. Chance for Boyd or Eardley to find the cross. Boyd into the area. And in goes Akinde! Oh, and it's off the post! City nearly score. Toffolo came in back post and hits the post on the right. And it just avoids being a Lincoln goal. The referee, though, has seen something. I think it's a Peterborough player down, and I'm not sure what we're playing. Are we playing free kick? Or are we playing throw?
Well, I think if it would have finished from the back of the net, I don't think there'd been an infringement. I think it was just the infringement of clearing the ball off when it hit the post, and it just shows you when you looks out, it's inside of the post and goes in. This one outside the post and went the other side.
10,025, Tomo 1,740, I think it was, making the trip up the A1 from Cambridgeshire. It's a great effort from them.
Nice.
Always praise the Lincoln away support, and for me, all away support needs a special mention. Tony, he was being fouled, but nobody saw it, and Lincoln having to defend. Peterborough on the halfway line. Just under 6 minutes to go. Peterborough going backwards. Lincoln chasing after it. Akinde using his physique to try and block off. It's all the way to Bostwick, who heads it out to Eardley. He bobbles off at Eardley, but he hooks it downfield. Bostwick in with a challenge again. Good challenge from him. Boyd being pulled by Woodyard, but turns and makes himself that space again. And forward comes Bolger, and now with Payne on the halfway line. Payne back to Morrell. Morrell, lovely ball to Akinde. Akinde to Anderson. Squares it. Oh, and there's not a player to find the finish. What a move though from the Imps. No long ball team.
Fantastic move, and what it was, the ball was moved fast, wasn't it? All one touch.
Lincoln looking for a way in. Morrell into the box. Walker with a header. 3 Lincoln players around, and it's a hurried clearance from Peterborough. They're praying for the whistle. Lincoln are hoping for the goal. Back with Morrell wide, and he plays it, and it's with George Grant, I should say. And back out to the right again. City stab it forward. Oh, that's a great little dink over the defender, but it's cleared away by another defender. Back with Bostwick, heads it downfield. Peterborough clear it away. Tony makes the run up on against Bostwick, and that's a poor ball forward from Peterborough, and it's a throw for Lincoln City, and the legs are just filling with lactate for Peterborough. They're getting more and more tired, and City with their man advantage at 1-1 are forcing their way forward. Anderson, and it's a bit tired from him, but it finds Eardley. Now Boyd. Morrell inside the centre circle, surveys all in front of him. Back to Boyd, Grant, sorry, and then into Anderson. It's inside the area, pull back and behind for a corner. I don't know where I got Boyd from. George Grant, who's having a very good game.
I think with George Grant,
yes.
George Boyd, but it's been that kind of a game, hasn't it? I mean, there's only one winner now. Lincoln can just snatch it. First time I've seen a bit of an expression from Michael Appleton as well. It's can we nick this?
Well, they've been victims of late goals in one way. Can they be a victim of success? It comes back for the shot from Toffolo, and then a charge straight to the keeper. Anywhere else from that shot coming in from Bolger, it's a goal. It's straight at the keeper. It remains 1-1, 3.5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Goal in the Boston game.
Oh, Adam Marriott, poor kick from Peter Crook. Adam Marriott, 1-on-1. If he squares it, they score. He squares it, and they've scored. Chris Gash, 3-0, game over here.
Long ball downfield from Peterborough, headed away by Bolger. Payne comes away with it. Looks to play it for Tyler Walker. Walker chests it down, looking for support. Back out to Toffolo. Terrific engine from Toffolo. Cross it into the area. Players are lining up. Heading going. Oh, that is a magnificent save from Christy Pym. It looked to be going in. It's a corner instead. City are bashing at the door, trying to find the winning goal. Still 1-1, but they have the man advantage, and we have 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Was it Anderson who headed that?
Oh, so close, Tomo. The Lincoln player down in the penalty area. They've been held on to. Up goes Akinde with a header, still loose inside the box, and it's going to go out. Is it for a throw? No, it's not kept in play by Anderson. Throw for Peterborough. And they'll be relieved to get over the line if they can. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. City have bashed at the door. But Peterborough, to their credit, have been resolute. They're now wasting the time. The referee's saying it's okay. I'm adding it up.
Yeah, they've had to batten the hatches, haven't they, Peterborough? They've really had to work hard since the sending off, and Lincoln have absolutely mauled them without getting that winning goal. It's 1-1, and you just think, is there a final twist for Lincoln?
Akinde trying to win it. It's cleared away by Peterborough, only as far as the impressive Toffolo. And then Morrell. Oh, that's great. Payne. Oh, he's pulled down on the edge of the area. Free kick, Lincoln.
Oh.
And is this George Grant's moment?
Well, he can't wait to get to the ball, can he?
Skipping along, wasn't he? We know he can score a set piece. He hasn't.
Right footer, top right hand corner.
Yeah. Game in a box. He can do it. 1 minute plus stoppage time to go.
Did he do this for Notts County against Lincoln at Meadow Lane?
I think so. He did it a lot for Notts County, a lot for Mansfield. Hasn't really had a chance to do it yet for Lincoln.
Well, you've got two big units doing a little blocking job, haven't you? Boswick and Akinde.
Well, if the keeper doesn't, if it's on target, the keeper spills it, there are players lurking.
Michael, he's too far across, the Peterborough keeper. He needs to be more central.
Well, can George Grant give Lincoln City a lead late on? 1-1 the scoreline. Referee just telling Madison to get away. Shooing him away.
He's gone even further across the Peterborough keeper. No.
George Grant, can he give Lincoln City the lead? It's in!
Did I not tell you? It's Michael, it was 3 yards too far to his left, the Peterborough keeper. I'm not saying that it wasn't a good free, it was a good free kick, but the Peterborough keeper sort of gave him a bigger target, but I don't think it was ever in doubt if Grant got it on target.
Do you know what made me think he would score? He skipped to the ball. He wanted it. You know, 5 minutes of stoppage time.
I'm sorry, Grant. I'd like to give you the man of the match, but it's got to go to Morrell.
Yeah. So back in the studio, if you can do that, that'd be great. Joe Morrell, man of the match. Got to see it over the line, though. It's never over till it's over for me. Peterborough lined up like they're going to be charging towards the Stacey West End. What a goal from George Grant. Fantastic. Really plays for him.
It's been a terrific influence in the central of midfield.
Peterborough flying forward, all of a sudden they find the energy. Madison into the area. Oh, and it's over the top. And where has he been for the last 20 minutes? Suddenly gets a burst of energy and looks dangerous.
That to me is the sim, Michael.
That's what people say about him.
Drifts in and out of games.
I think it was, like you said, Toffolo's been excellent, Grant's been excellent, but Morrell is just, he's looked like a championship player in the League One game.
Well, he's just been at it for 90 minutes, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's been involved from the first minute to however minutes we're going to play at the end.
with Lincoln. Hook downfield. And chasing after it's Tyler Walker, who's onside. Holds on to it. Into the penalty area, looking for support. Breaks back on the edge of the area to Grant. And now it's back with him again. Lincoln's match winner at the moment on the corner of the area. City pushing forward. Little triangles between Payne and now it's into Toffolo right in the corner of the area. Back to Grant out wide. Grant to Toffolo. Toffolo looking for the cross of the corner. Toffolo holding on to it, and this is a bit out of character to the game on Sunday. They can hold on to it, and the official somehow has given it as a throw to Peterborough.
I think, Michael, I think if you play Grant with the right midfield player, i.e. Morrell or O'Connor in there, you know, someone who's going to, if you like, do the nasties and get around, and he can be an influence that can turn games for you. I mean, the free kick, I mean, I think I nominated that.
Oh, that was a bit close to a foul, I thought, on Tyler Walker. Pulled back, Peterborough playing it long, downfield. The man of the match, Morrell, wins it back. Back to Morrell, he's sprinting forward like he's been playing for 5 minutes. It's Akinde down the left-hand side. He's got Payne behind him. Lincoln aren't committing men forward. They're taking the time out of the game. They know Peterborough are tired, they know they're down a man, and they know that they can take the clock down, and it feels very different to the way it did in the Ipswich game. This time they're holding on to it. This time they have a throw. 2 minutes from the 95.
2 home victories, Michael, done in 2 different ways.
And it's Akinde out wide. Payne. Toffolo, Payne, Toffolo into the area, the ball just gets away from him, gives it to Akinde, who's sort of shocked into life. He didn't expect the ball there, and then it's cleared away by a very tired Alex Woodyard and out of play. But if I was the Peterborough manager, the first thing I would do, and it might not be good for team morale, I'd march down the tunnel and I'd have a very stern word with Dembele, because for me, yes, Lincoln have been excellent and deserved this, but Dembele has changed this game beyond any shape.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm sure that Dan and Ferguson won't be shy.
Morrell, and it's with Payne on the corner, and it's a chance for Tyler Walker. Shoots, takes a deflection, and Payne, I think, is going to get a yellow card for a handball here. It was somewhat like a flying Maradona, and he didn't manage it.
I thought it was more like he fired out the cannon.
Yes. I tell you what, though, Michael Appleton must be one happy man. You've got to be really happy with these back-to-back performances from his team. 1 minute to go. Peterborough 2-1 down to Lincoln City, who were 1-0 down through the goal for Tony. But they fought their way back into this. The deflected effort from Tyler Walker as Boswick heads clear. And then that magnificent free kick from George Grant. But you know how you sum up Lincoln City, they're still fighting for the ball. Harry Anderson heads it away, but Peterborough still coming at them. 20 seconds or so to go. Are they going to get one more chance at Lincoln City? City trying to close off the space, and Akinde does the tackling, and Akinde is forward. He's dragged down, but Harry Anderson is away to the penalty area, and he's going down to the corner flag to sit on the ball. And we've now played 4 minutes of stoppage time, and Lincoln are looking to inflict another defeat. He's good refereeing this. He's going back for the yellow card for the foul on Akinde. Credit the ref for that.
No, it was good advantage play by the ref. I think on a whole, Michael, we've got the referees in the plus, isn't he?
Yep,
he's not in the negatives.
I think so. I think it's the right. I don't think there's anything wrong with the red. And Lincoln are seconds away from winning this. Headed out of play again. If you think there's allowing a little bit of time for the celebration for the goal, maybe. And we play 30 seconds over the 5. It's at least 5 minutes Lincoln had to play. All eyes on the referee. All waiting for the whistle. It goes to his lips. And Lincoln City have come from behind to win this by 2-1. Two great mates, Walker and Grant, scoring Lincoln's goals to give them a 2-1 win. They're up to 30 points somehow now for the season. Pace.
Give me a reaction to that. What a finish.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? It's always nice to see off a game as late as what we did, because you always feel, I suppose, that you're not really giving the opposition an opportunity to get back into it. But I think in general as a whole, I felt quite comfortable at half time. As daft as that sound, we've given a stupid goal away. From experienced players should know better than that. And they do, and they put their hand up because we've got an honest group, but they're prepared to shrug it to one side and get on. But I just thought the performance in the second half, even against 11 men, just shown the character, I suppose, that we've got at the minute.
Yeah, before we move on to the positives, your thoughts on that Peterborough goal? Is it a balancing act trying to?
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, it's one of them where we're not talking about young players, it was, experienced players, so I don't need to go in there and give an absolute rollicking to players. It's just to put a little bit of a look and go, look, come on, we're better than that, we can make better decisions than that, and recognise the state of the game and stuff. So it won't go away from what we want to do and how we want to do things. It's just making sure that we tweak it and we just make sure that we do it at the right time.
And it was a thrilling second half, and as you say, you were more than in the game at 11v11.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought even the first half, we've had a couple of great opportunities that didn't go our way, and we knew we needed to do something to win the game, and that was why the change at half time. Just felt we needed to switch the play a little bit quicker. Obviously Michael's done brilliant for us in terms of his experience, and he gives us that little bit of steel in the middle of the park. But George, obviously, with his ability on the ball to switch the play, I felt we needed that in the second half. And we did, and we started quite brightly, but then there was a little bit of a lull. And obviously it was the opportunity then to bring Big John on and see if he could rough him up a little bit, which he did do. The sending off definitely obviously helped us, but even though we got a little bit of luck with the deflection for Tyler's goal, we created umpteen opportunities, and the keeper's had a good day and the post has stopped us, and you're just thinking, is it going to be one of them days that don't quite work out? But then obviously the free kick, I've just been joking out there, and I was in the office, that sometimes they're the type of free kicks where if that was in the 20th minute, I wonder if he would have scored. And what I mean by that is that he knows it's almost one of the last kicks of the game. Your concentration levels have to be ultra high, but then obviously you need the technique to go and do it, and as soon as it's left his foot, I knew it was a goal.
Were you pleased with what George gave you in the centre of the park second half?
Definitely. I mean, he's got all the attributes, certainly in possession, to be a very, very good central midfield player. The one thing he still needs to do is off the ball, but he's getting better. If you can look at George today in that second half and the work he did off the ball, people won't recognise that because they see him when he comes alive and he's got the ball at his feet. But he's definitely getting better at it, and the more we expose him to that in the middle of the park, obviously it's going to benefit everybody.
And yeah, if you can align that off the ball stuff with his ability, which we all know he's got, you've got a hell of a player there, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. No, he's got. He needs to score more goals. He knows that. He had a season at Notts County where he scored a hell of a lot of goals coming off the left-hand side. I praised him the other day. Tyler's second goal, can't remember if it was our third goal the other day. I felt that he's the one that made it because he got across the near post, which allowed Tyler to tap it in at the far post. So them type of things, being unselfish and doing stuff for the team, runs off the ball, certainly helps.
Your thoughts on that sending off? I mean, the ref had no option really.
No, I mean, it was miles away from where we are, and the referee was literally 4 or 5 yards away, so it was just good that obviously we've kept our discipline again, and that was the most important thing. That's not for me to to talk about. That's for Darren to talk about.
Just going back to the substitution at half time, Michael O'Connor's okay, is it? It was purely a tactical change?
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. We just needed to win the game, or certainly get some out of the game, and I just felt we needed to switch the play a little bit quicker. Obviously, with them playing with a diamond, yes, your outlets a lot of the time are your fullbacks. So, that was the idea behind it.
You've beaten 2 of the top 6 in the last few days. What a Christmas it's been, and shows you can compete with the sides at the top of the table.
Absolutely, Mark, and it's one of them where, obviously, previous to that, I thought we were valuing in the Coventry and Oxford game to take at least a point from both games, and that'll give the players confidence. But obviously these 2 back-to-back wins, certainly will give them belief. But as boring as I'm going to sound, the reality is we've got another big game in 2 days' time, and I'm already speaking to him about Sunderland in the dressing room. I want to finish the week off on a high if I can. And we want to go there and be really competitive.
I think you could go ahead of them if you win on. Is that right? If you beat them on Saturday, and you played 2 big teams over the last few days, and the biggest team in the division in Sunderland, and that'd be a great way to round off this period, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, and it's important that we expect that from him and demand that from him, and got to keep our foot on the gas, make sure that we go there, expecting to give them a really good game and take it to them, and I'm sure they will. I mean, the biggest thing is going to be the recovery now between now and then, making sure that we recover properly and they eat properly and they rest properly, and the lads who haven't had much game, making sure we keep on top of them, because as you've seen today, and it's important that when you bring subs on, they have an impact on the game, and the obvious impact is John, just because he's massive and balls into the box and things drop for him or someone else. But I thought Payne today as well just gives a little bit of energy without doing massively anything eye-catching. It just gives a little bit of energy as well when he come off the bench.
And that's a great sign if the players who are coming on are giving you that impact, because that probably wasn't the case a couple of months ago, but the players are coming on and making an impact.
Definitely, you probably heard me say it, 2, 3, 4, 5 games into my reign about wanting more from my subs when they come on, and I want them to have an impact on the game in a positive manner rather than a negative manner, and it's important that continues.
Are you hopeful of getting any business done before the weekend?
I'm hoping we can get one done before Saturday. I'm reasonably confident. I'm not a betting man, but I'm reasonably confident. If we don't, it's not a major issue. We've got to be right. It's got to be right. We've got to take our time. But hopefully one will be done before Saturday, and then beyond that, obviously, there'll be a lot of movers and shakers.
What about departures? Do you have to move players on to bring players in, or is it like that, or?
I think the balance has to be right, and I think over the January period, I think that has to be the case. Certainly, I would like to see at least 4 new faces in before the end of January. But with that being said, the reality is we will have to move at least 1 or 2 if that is the case. Yeah.
With Zach, is it an issue with his international clearance? Is that why he wasn't involved today?
Yeah, and it's not an issue as such at the minute. We knew from day one, but we had to be careful, because in terms of preparation for this game, we knew that we could only apply for his international clearance this morning, which we did first thing. So it's obviously in the authorities now to hopefully come back to us as soon as possible and get the green light for him to be eligible to be part of the squad on Saturday.
Is he mixing well with the group? Is he looking good in training?
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely. He is what you've probably seen on the clips and stuff like that. He's quick, he's young, desperate to do well. Not a big personality in terms. He's not a loud one. He's quite a quiet Irishman. There's nothing wrong with that, because I know he's got the hunger and desire to do well, and hopefully over the next couple of years or so we'll get to see that.
Jordan Adebayo's missed, gone to Gainsborough. What are you hoping for him? Obviously more game time than he had at Boston.
Game time. Yeah, just game time and training regular, and he'll still do a little bit with us, but it's important for him and his development that he plays as many games as he possibly can, and it doesn't really matter the level. It's more the physicality side of it. I think he'll improve with the games and from a technical point of view, but he needs to get bashed about, you know, and that was a message to him really. You know, I want to see him get kicked in the air and get booted and being able to deal with that and ride challenges and ride tackles. So the more he gets to that, the better.
Just fine. Now, Chris Ashton told me when I came in the room that this is the first time since 1976 that there'd been 2 10,000 plus crowds in a row here.
Right.
And
okay.
that's pretty something, that, isn't it, really? And
it's certainly. I mean,
and the atmosphere was great, wasn't it?
It was
Particularly towards the end.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant, and you know, the more gates we get like that, you know, you have to be a rocket science. The more gates we get like that, the better the performances will be, because they're just naturally going to get a lift. It helps that the opposition bring a few as well. I know that, and I get that. But you know, that'll be my message to the fans. Just, you know, hopefully you've seen enough that will want you to keep coming back and keep coming through the gates. And you know, we've still got some big games this year. I can say that now, can't I? Yeah. Still got some big games this year to look forward to, and hopefully it'll be the same again.
Obviously it's about winning first and foremost, but are you conscious of entertaining as well? Because the last two performances in particular have been very good.
Yeah, I am, but it's one of them getting the balance, Matt. It's one of them where, you know, people could have a pop at me, you know, for the goal we conceded, but that just comes down to decision making and, you know, execution.
Doing it
you know,
at the right time.
Yeah, but it was still on at times to do it, and we turned it down. So it's a learning curve, you know, and we have to learn as a group and recognise, you know, when to do it, when not to do it, depending on how they press the opposition. If they press with a 2 or a 3, and you learn by. That's a big one. You do learn by making mistakes, and they've had the courage to bounce back. You learn by the video work that we do and show them all the time, and we work the patterns of play that we create on the pitch, on the training pitch.
Brilliant, thank you. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Michael, just one from me. How much training will you get in between now and the Sunderland?
Almost nothing. We will train on the way to Sunderland. We tend to do that quite a lot, where we, just from a traffic point of view, try and avoid it, travel, and on the way up do a little bit of training. But certainly the lads who played a few games, they'll do very, very little. Obviously the lads who've not played much will get a little bit more into them, but I've just mentioned then the recovery is the single most important thing, and you know, we'll make sure that the players are recovered and ready to go again, because the energy levels we've showed over the last 2 games and even before that have been magnificent.
Jason was on the bench today, most pleased after what you said yesterday, so that's a positive sign. As far as you know, early stages, people have come through without injuries today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.